Hello, everybody. Tuning in for those who don't know me or you just stumbled upon my podcast randomly. My name is Deja. I'm 22, sitting on 23 years old, and I'm here to talk about life as bluntly and as open as possible. I'm going to talk about my life mostly and the things that it's taught me so far, and maybe you can relate and my podcast will help you, and maybe it won't. That's just for you to decide on this journey with me. But anyway, let's get started. As Nikki would say, we're going to get into some things, child. We're going to get into some things. So, my first episode, it's Friday the 13th. Woo! Everybody has a superstition about Friday the 13th. So, that's the first thing that I want to talk about. Let's talk about who said Friday the 13th was bad and why. Let's talk about why there's hundreds of thousands of people on this motherfucking earth basing the luck of today off of a folklore. I think it's a folklore, but, some people believe that it's because there was 13 individuals at Jesus' Last Supper, blah, 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 blah. Who knows? We really don't know the truth behind any of that shit. So if you want my advice, I say live your life superstition free. Because I've had some of the best days of my life on Friday the 13th, including today. I'm starting my first podcast, and it's Friday the 13th, so it's a pretty good day for me. Anyway, moving on. I want to talk about hobbies. It's one of the first things I want to talk about because I think a lot of the motherfuckers about to listen to my podcast, we all have the same hobby in common. And I want to be the first motherfucker to say, we need to start doing more than just smoking weed. Everybody link up and we just smoke weed. We don't do shit. Like, literally, if you're not smoking weed at this period of time, I don't know, you're boring as fuck. And that's, like, bad. Like, I feel like all my friends who don't smoke weed is basic. Like, I got a friend that don't smoke weed. I'm not going to, say anything about that. But I'd be like, how don't you smoke weed? And I realized, she's actually smart as fuck. Because weed is very controlling. Like, you get to the point where you can't eat without weed. You can't sleep without weed. It's really a drug for real, but it's not. It's a drug, but it's not. Also, I want to tell y'all that I do poetry throughout my podcast on episodes. Not every episode, but throughout these episodes that I give you guys, I am going to be citing some of the poetry. And that's kind of a big deal for me because I haven't ever put my poetry out into the world. And everybody's always like, oh my God, you gotta put some background music or do whatever you want to do with your poetry and just let people hear it. But I've always been the type to be scared to tell my poetry because these are my stories. These is how I felt in moments of my life that I wasn't always in the best place, So it was hard for me to do that. And for the longest, I thought about, doing an alias or whatever, or not admitting to my poetry as being my own or just writing it and doing it anonymously. But no, I want people to hear my story. I want people to know this is mine. And I want them to know that it's okay to be in XYZ situations and you can get through them. And if you do have a metaphoric gift, you can rhyme, you can do anything, whether it's rap, sing, write poetry, anything. Put that shit to action and really get to doing it because you never know where it might take you. I never know where this podcast might take me. Case in point on why I'm starting it. And on top of that, for those who really just want a chance to get to know me, this podcast and my poetry is one of the best ways to understand me as a person. You can understand my thought process, how I think, and all that. So, yeah, let's keep it pushing. I also want to talk about selfish people. And not selfish like the way you think. So, I'm going to give y'all a second to dwell on what I said. I want to talk about the people who we help 1,000 times, but say no that 1,001st time, and you're selfish. I want to talk about those people. You really got to watch out for those people. They never want you to put yourself first. then in a moment that you do try to put yourself first, it's an issue. Definitely watch out for those people. I learned that those are really the people in life that really don't want to see you doing good. And I also realized that there's people in life that really do love you, really do care about you. They want to see you doing good, but they definitely don't want to see you doing better than them. It's like they want to feel like y'all equal. They don't want to feel like, oh, I'm not on the same level as her. They don't want to feel like, oh, I'm not doing better than her or him or whatever. That's weird because there's no competition in life. Everybody has their own paths. Everybody's going their own direction, own which ways and all that. And I realized a lot of people in life that I used to have around me personally, they only wanted me around when I was at my lowest. Like when I was at my lowest and they was all up high, they loved being around me. They always tried to talk to me, be there for me, not really be there for me, but know what I got going on. But the minute that I elevated, I picked up my life and started changing that shit, people start hating, people start getting weird, people start throwing subliminals, it's just all kind of shit. And you just be sitting there thinking to yourself like, we was just cool as fuck. And then you got to sit down and analyze, but why was y'all cool as fuck? Because you was in a bad place. They loved to feel like they was doing better than you because they're not doing better than that many people. So them feeling like they're doing better than you really made their life something. Once you picked up an elevator on their ass and showed them that you can turn yourself around, you're not always going to be down. Being down is a moment. It's not a lifetime. They get to getting mad and shit. They get to acting like they don't understand. Like, and those is the motherfuckers that you really got to watch out for, because I honestly pray for them. I pray for them. But I'm not going to sit up here and hold y'all too long on my first episode. I just wanted to give y'all an introduction to what I got going on, what I'm going to be offering you guys, and XYZ. And I also am going to give you guys one of my little poems for the first time, my first episode. And the poem has to do with what I was just talking about with selfish people. I wrote this at a time in my life where I was surrounded by a bunch of motherfuckers who were using me. And I named this poem Family Matters. So let me know how y'all feel about it. Who can you trust nowadays when everybody looking to get paid? And sometimes your pockets are the way to their escape. While you sitting here thinking, do I look like some superhero? Well, where the fuck is my cape? So you tell that nigga, look, I'm done passing out free plates because you looking very out of shape. Slowly over time, all your love turned into hate. And we stopped having that much to celebrate. And lately, you ain't even giving me nothing to appreciate. So as far as our relationship, you set your own fate. That's it, guys. Let me know how y'all like that. Let me know what y'all think. Get back with me. Until next time, y'all.